Farke, and the hero tonight, Lukas Nmecha, off the bench to score the penalty. It was just his third touch, and now he joins us live from Ellen Road. Congratulations to you, Lukas. When you say it like that, and when you hear it like that, it sounds like a bit of a fairy tale, is it?
Yeah, amazing, really pleased, and yeah, amazing 3 points.
When you actually came on the field, Lukas, were you aware that you were the designated penalty taker if that event should happen?
I think in the games that I've played here, when I've started, I've always been on the taker sheet. Normally it's Joel, but he was off, so thankfully I got to take it.
So you were the guy straight away, and did you have any doubt in your mind as to which way you were going to go from the kick?
No, I normally decide before the game if I get one where to put it.
Lukas, you were up against Jordan Pickford. He's got a great history of saving penalties, especially for his country. He was looking at his water bottle behind the goal where he normally has the listed names. Was that in your head, who you were coming up against?
No, I think that was a bit of a bluff, to be fair. I don't think I would have been one of the names on there, but yeah, I just put it hard and low, and I was pretty confident.
We'll show you the moment, Lukas. I don't know if you've seen it back yet. What was the key to it? Was it the power of the strike?
Yeah, I think I hit it quite hard, and it was, yeah, in the corner. I think it's hard to save. He did go pretty early, to be fair. Yeah.
Lukas, players from Leeds, Sunderland and Burnley have had to listen all summer to the fact that obviously clubs that come up from the Championship quite often go back down. How have you addressed that in the change room, and how important is it to get off with a win tonight?
Yeah, I think we had a lot of confidence, I mean, from winning the league and the way that we did it. I thought we didn't play like a team that's just come up today. I think we dominated a lot of the ball, especially in the first half. And yeah, just in the final third, we lacked a bit at times. I don't think we got enough shots on target, but that's something to work on.
Lukas, some people might not know too much about you. Tell us a little bit, if you can, or as much as you would like to, about your journey as a footballer to this point.
Yeah, I would say I'm very blessed. I thank God that I'm playing again. I think I had a lot of problems with injuries coming from the City Academy. I've been playing in Germany for a long time now, 4 seasons long, but unfortunately been out for a lot of that time, and I'm just looking to show my performances, to show what I can do, and yeah, I'm really happy for today.
And I think previously you'd managed at Manchester City to play a total of 16 minutes of Premier League football before you came here. But do you see in your mind yourself as very much someone who is ready for this opportunity and deserving to be playing on this stage?
Yeah, I think as a striker, as a player, you have to have that mindset. I'm definitely confident. I feel like if it wasn't for some circumstances, I would have maybe got here earlier, but definitely early doors. It's a penalty goal. Hopefully I can do a lot more in the season.
This absolutely could be the spark for who knows what, Lukas. What do you think that Leeds can achieve this season?
I think definitely at home we have amazing fans. It was very loud in here, electric. I don't think I felt something like this before. But yeah, I think in the way we played very mature for a side that's just come up. When we went 1-0 up, we slowed the game down, got our free kicks and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely in the game, I think we controlled a lot of the game, and yeah, like I said, it was just a final third where we lacked a little bit.
Well, congratulations, Lukas. A really special moment for you. You're the toast of Leeds United fans tonight, and I'm sure you're the toast of Wythenshawe as well this evening. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
What a nice moment, eh?
Honestly, I mean, you obviously just heard him talking about his journey and the fact that he's been injured, and you never know when you're going to get your break. And that's a big moment for him, and have that pressure. Those Leeds fans behind that goal all expecting him to score, and he's gone and done it. And you know, really happy for him, because obviously he's been out of football for quite a while, and this will be a big moment for him.
It just shows, I suppose, Jamie, when you hear him talk like that, it's not for everyone. It's not a smooth, straightforward path to the Premier League, is it? There are lots of different ways to get there.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong way. You know, the main thing is that you get there one way or another. And when it's about getting there, you know, the thing for me about footballers, you talk about making it, is getting the most out of what you've got. You know, someone playing in the Championship might be the best they can do, and that might be a great career. Someone might actually underachieve by playing in the Premier League because they should have got further in that. But by the sounds of it, obviously he's had a lot of injury problems, which always just stunts things, stops things, doesn't it? And you just need that little bit of momentum. And sometimes, like all of us, you need a bit of luck. He's on the pitch, the penalty gets given, he takes it now, name in the papers, all of us Sky Sports News tomorrow got the goal. Who knows if he's involved in the game at the weekend? And that's the little breaks that you need as a footballer.
Big moment in the game, though, wasn't it? And a big decision for the officials to make. But did you sense that there was something that maybe David Moyes wouldn't have been happy about in the build-up to the penalty?
Yeah, I mean, when we're watching the game, we'll watch the game in the full screen. We get all the 22 players, and at Ellen Road we can see the managers. A couple of minutes before this penalty happened, Jordan Pickford had a goal kick, I think, and he played it wide to the left-back, and I could see David Moyes' reaction. I think it was Garner, put him in a little bit of trouble. Everton played a long ball. They were lucky. They won the second ball and they were OK. But I just noted David Moyes' reaction. And then as soon as I saw the penalty incident, I wasn't watching the big screen, I was watching the smaller screen. I asked people to just run it back to see David Moyes' reaction because of what I'd seen earlier. So that's why we're putting it in the screen now. And you can see he's frustrated with Jordan Pickford. Yes, it's a mistake in midfield and a slip, but he doesn't want Jordan Pickford playing this ball in midfield.
You think he would think it's an unnecessary risk?
Yeah, he thinks he's putting him under trouble. Now, a lot of other managers would have said, you should be able to deal with that. Don't slip over, you just knock it out to Tarkowski. But David Moyes was thinking, we haven't played well. 0-0 away at Ellen Road, we'll take our point and get out of there. So he was frustrated. But then from there, the big talking point is a handball.
And what's your verdict?
I think it is. I think he knows what he's doing, James Tarkowski, and something I would do. The only thing I'm thinking is, as he lost his bearings, he is in the middle of the goal, but it's a split second decision. Let me just roll it back, sorry. And just see exactly where he was as it was happening. You know, obviously it's not really going to cause him too much danger. It takes a late deflection, and maybe it's just reflexes.
Tell me, Gary.
I think it's definitely a penalty.
You don't think he's trying to get his arm out of the way, which he was trying to argue the case of?
I think it comes from. I think because of the distance it's travelled, and the one thing with me, I think. Look,
the funny thing is James Tarkowski was actually saying,
he points towards his arm.
On the hand.
There you go, hit my arm.
Yeah.
No, James Tarkowski's the type of defender that feels like he needs to get in front of every single shot, and what I mean by that is that he maybe could have just composed himself, let that ball go through to Jordan Pickford, who was right behind him and would have saved it, but he just comes across quickly. The guilt written all over Tarkowski's face, he knows it's a penalty. He's blocked it from such a distance.
What's interesting here? Just keep an eye on all the other Everton players here now, besides Tarkowski. They've all got their hands behind the back. If I just stop that now,
why?
And you've got...
Why?
No, because they're worried about giving a penalty away.
I know.
But you've got Keane, you've got Guy, I think it's Alcaraz. They've all actually got their hands behind the back. Actually, Garner, he's actually got his hands in front.
What's wrong with that, Gary?
No, honestly, I just don't think they need to have their arms behind the back. I genuinely don't. You know, if you have your arms here and it hits your arm, they're not going to do that. It's when you move your arm towards the ball. No, Tarkowski's moved his arm towards the ball. So if you look at this now, for me, just move it slowly. He knows what he leans into it there, and he blocks it, and it's a penalty. And he knows what he's done. And look, I just looked at Tarkowski's face. I couldn't take my eye. I thought he knows it's a penalty because you just know when you're a player of that sort of level. He's honest lad. And he knows that he's made a mistake, and Pickford would have just picked that up. So
there was frustration. We saw that at the end, not just from Tarkowski and the teammates, but also David Moyes got involved in that with the referee as well at the end. It took them 6.5 seconds to make the decision from the incident. What do you think was going on there?
It was a throwback to before VAR days, where a referee wasn't 100% sure. He was in communication with his assistant, Lee Betts, on that far side, and he needed help. I think the referee thought it was a penalty, but he looked to his, as I said, the referee's assistant for guidance, took 6.5 seconds, and then thought, I'm going to give it. And because of VAR, we're in that position now where officials have got to go, OK, I think it's a penalty, so I want to give it. And then if VAR get involved, then they can decide if this is a big mistake. If it's not, I think it was... So he thought it was a penalty. He wanted confirmation of the referee's assistant. So it was like an old-fashioned decision. He made the decision, and there was no way that was ever going to get turned over.
He wanted confirmation. If you see the actual line of the referee, I think he's actually blocked. I think because of Tarkowski's body and the Leeds player that stood in front of him, I actually think that he doesn't see it. So I think he does look over. He does absolutely the right thing here, the referee. He can tell he's communicating with his linesman. He looks over to his linesman. He's saying, look, I've not seen it. What do you think? I I think it's a penalty, and the assistant referee's giving it on that far side because I think the referee's just blocked.
Big moment in the night when Lukas Nmecha steps up. Potentially a big moment in Leeds United's season back in the Premier League, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, to get 3 points, I mean, Jamie's just summed it up absolutely perfectly at the end of the game. For a promoted team to win a Premier League match in itself is like a massive event. Every time you pick up 3 points, and they need some points on the board early to build confidence, to build momentum. You don't want that negativity spiral that exists for Championship clubs coming up where they say, here we go again. Sunderland and Leeds are in a great position now. They've got 3 points, so a long way to go. But this is a game, if you look at Leeds' next few games, this is probably a game they had to win. They go to Arsenal on Saturday. What chance are they going to have there? But let's hope they go and do a good job and give a good account of themselves. But it's going to be really difficult to win points at some of the grounds that they go to. So this was a big one this tonight. Good penalty. Really good penalty.
And the question I asked him then about Jordan Pickford, he's good at saving penalties, certainly in an England shirt, and it's about, he was behind the goal, probably looking at his bottle. And I actually,
it's got to be perfect, hasn't it?
Yeah, he has gone the right way, but it's such a really good penalty. But I actually thought when he came on, how many penalties he's taken in his career. He's actually taken quite a few as well, so I'm sure there was information.
Did he score a penalty? We should have probably asked him. He scored on his debut for Manchester City in a shootout way back when, 2016, 2017.
But listen, the information that given, as soon as they saw he was on the bench, I'm sure Jordan Pickford and the Everton staff and analysts would have been involved in terms of being on his bottle, where he puts his penalties. He guessed right, but the penalty was just too good.
Big moment for Leeds United. 2 new boys are up and running with 3 points. That didn't happen. Well, 2 promoted sides didn't win until November last season. So good start for Leeds and for Sunderland. Let's hear now from James Tarkowski, who gave away that vital penalty in that moment. He's with Johnny Phillips.
James, it was a penalty award that changed everything in the game. What was your take on it?
Not a penalty. As soon as the ref blew, I was pretty confident it was going to get overturned. My first question to him was if my arm was by my side, which it was, is it a penalty? To which he said no. And then I've since read that I leaned into the ball, but there's nothing unnatural about my arm being by my side. So the ball's allowed to hit your arm. It's just not allowed to be away from your body unnaturally, which it wasn't. So I can't understand it really. The linesman give it, apparently he was 45 yards away, and I don't understand how he can see what I've done with my arm from the angle. So bizarre moment, and yeah, it cost us the point in the end.
Is that the puzzling thing? You can't just watch the ball sail by. You perhaps have to lean into it to some degree, and there's nowhere else for your arm to go.
Yeah, well, I'm moving across. There's a lot of bodies in front of me. The lad struck it at pace. It took a deflection on the way past. I see it last second. I'm allowed to move my body in towards the direction of the ball. If it's my arm and it's by my side, I don't think that's a penalty. So even the description of saying I leaned into the ball doesn't make sense to me. So I really can't understand it, and yeah, it's cost us a point in the end, as I said.
It must be incredibly frustrating because it looked like you weathered a storm in the first half and had really grown into the game in the second.
Yeah, we probably weathered the storm for too long, really. We knew it was going to be maybe the first 15-20 minutes to weather the storm. We ended up weathering it for the full half. But then we came out second half, played a lot better without creating loads of chances, moved the ball a bit better. And we're in the game, and to be honest, I never felt in danger throughout. For most of the game, I never really felt like we were going to score a goal. And also the penalty decides it.
Do you feel that the defensive reshuffle you were forced into with your missing players today as well perhaps contributed to that first half?
It's an excuse, isn't it? Yeah. No, Jimmy Garne's a top player. We could put him on the pitch and he'd do a great job for us, and he did today. So yeah, it's not ideal, but we've got to deal with it. Plenty of teams dealing with injuries.
What does it show, perhaps going forward into the season, that you perhaps do need a few more recruits if you're going to give this season a go? We're
going to give it a go anyway, whether we've got new recruits or not. But I'm sure it's been pretty open that we need players through the door. We lost a lot in the summer, so I'm surprised to be a couple more at some point.
Really appreciate your time, thanks.
Cheers.
Does he make a good case? And do we need to bear in mind, actually, we're watching this super slow motion. And it's all happening very quickly with the ricochet, with the deflection.
The first thing I want to say, aside from the penalty, that Everton were really poor tonight, didn't deserve to win the game anyway, but then it comes down to this decision. What the referee means is, and to be fair, look, if James Tarkowski, if you hit it at me and my arm's here, then that's not a penalty. But if you just watch this, as he sees it coming, he leans down there and across.
Well, he says he's trying to get his body in the way. He's leaning across because he's trying to get his body in the way.
But if it comes from 15, 20 yards away, Dave, you've got no leg to stand on. I know we don't like it as defenders, but if you do that and your arm goes down there and it's your arm, you've got no leg to stand on with it being a penalty.
Here's his manager, David Moyes, with Johnny Phillips.
David, a really tough way to lose a football match. What was your take on that?
Look, Leeds were better than us on the night. Certainly in the first half, we'd done much better in the second half, and maybe in the second half alone we might have had a chance of winning the game. But you know, I think the goals completely wrong, really harsh. So it's difficult to lose on that.
Have you sought an explanation for that decision?
Yeah, I have. I've been in and spoke to the referee. They seem to think that because you lean, your arms can go away if you lean, and that means, you know, so of course you're allowed to lean in football. Nobody says, in none of the rules, unless somebody's going to pull one of these rules out where if you lean it means that it's a penalty. It took a deflection, the ball. I don't know where Tarkowski would have had to get his arm chopped off for him to go. It wasn't as if it was outside his body. He wasn't doing anything different. Leaned across. Look, it's not been a good week for me. I've only seen the referees and some of the performances, but tonight that decision was a poor decision. But it might not have been the referee. I think VAR had a chance to get that decision right and fair, and I felt as if it wasn't fair.
Does it make it a tough explanation to take when the fact is you want your player to try and defend the ball and he literally has nowhere else to go with the arm?
Absolutely. And look, the crowd probably were the ones who maybe were a bit intimidating. I can't say they intimidate the VAR people, but I would have thought it was the crowd were very good here tonight for Leeds United and were fighting for everything. But look, we can't do anything about it now. But it's a poor decision, and you know.
You touched on the performance as a whole. Was that perhaps down to the reshuffle you had to do at the back?
Well, it certainly didn't help. We've lost a couple of important players for us, so but we're not using it as any excuses. You know, we've got lots of games to come, and other teams will have injuries at different times in the season. We unfortunately picked up a couple at the moment, but yeah, that's it.
Until the penalty, the players did seem to be growing into that second half. Don't you? You looked to have an element of control.
Yeah, I actually think at the moment, you know, we don't play forward and we go back and make poor decisions on what gave the penalty away was a terrible decision. So there's other things obviously led to the penalty kick, but you know, I thought at that time we looked the more likely if anybody was going to score a goal, it was more likely to be us.
Does the night also emphasise the fact that you need reinforcements in the squad?
Well, we talk about it all the time. You have to ask the questions. We know it. We know it more than MD, and we will do when we can.
How confident are you, though, that you will do?
Yeah, I'm confident we'll get something, yeah.
Appreciate your time, David.
Cheers, thanks.
Of course, they've moved away from Goodison Park. They'll start life at the Hill Dickinson Stadium next week. It should be an exciting time, but it feels a bit of a miserable start, this, for Everton.
Yeah, well, listen, no one likes to lose the first game, and going away to a promoted team with the situation Everton find themselves in, injuries, the squad will look completely different in a couple of weeks. David Moyes has just basically, you know, told us that, and there still will be a lot of buzz and excitement this week going into, you know, that first game at the new stadium. Jack Grealish should probably start that game as well. So no, I still think there'll be a lot of buzz and optimism this week. For, as I said, they've been waiting for that stadium for so long.
What was your view of it?
Haven't watched it back or on field. It felt like it was a penalty in this moment. Perhaps it was also a bit over emotional with the roar of the stadium, but it felt like this. And yeah, I was a bit worried because it was checked quite long. But the feeling is, come on, if you need so long, then normally the on-field decision should stand. And yeah, thank God it stand then also in this situation. But I have to watch it back to judge it proper. So if the referee says it's a penalty, I hope he was right.
For a substitute who hadn't been on the pitch that long as well, there was incredible composure there to finish that penalty.
Yes, and the first 2 or 3 touches of Lukas were not spot on. I was a bit worried because normally he's an outstanding penalty taker, but I was a bit worried. Once you're not so long and don't feel the rhythm of the game, and the first touch were not great, I was overthinking if I should tell him, oh, today it's perhaps not the day to take it. So thank God I didn't step in, and yeah, he was ice cold and calm, and is a top guy, and also really good finisher. So I'm glad for him that he's in the spotlight, because he was also suffering a little bit in the last years.
And it prompted incredible scenes of celebration in the stands as well at the end. How important are the fans going to be to you this season, and how important is Ellen Rowe going to be?
Yes, of course. For newly promoted side, it has to become a fortress. That's quite important. But today, I'm not just thinking selfish about how much they helped us. this day I'm quite humble and grateful that we were able to celebrate them such a day, because in the last 2 decades there were not many great days on Premier League level. There was one really good season under Marcelo, but sadly without supporters during Corona times, and the other 2 years were more or less years with lots of suffering. So it's great to see the joy and the pride in their eye and how much it means to them. So it's great to give the supporters who are so emotional and care so much about their amazing club something back today. And in such a moment you feel quite humble and also grateful that you can help a little bit also to give them this gift of experience.
Your players showed so much in terms of fight and effort on the pitch. Do you feel you perhaps need a few more, though, to add a bit more quality as we go into the season now?
Yes, like I mentioned, especially in the offense, would be good to have a few more options available. Thank God, with Dominic we got the first one, and pretty soon he will also be involved. I'm quite sure. But like I mentioned before, we are ready for 1, 2, perhaps 3 good Premier League games, and I'm glad that we reward ourselves today with 3 points. But to be ready for a long Premier League season, we definitely need a bit more quality up front.
And how confident are you that you can get that quality? Because it feels as if you can get that, you could be in for a special season.
Yes, on this level you never know, because to bring players in who improve our squad is also pretty costly and expensive. But thank God we've got ambitious owners and great people who work their socks off really to give our club the best possible squad. I know that everyone is really tempted also to spend everything what is possible, but without risking the future of the club. So we won't do anything stupid. I think even in the last 2 years many clubs have also spent lots of money. It's not just about the sum of money, but it's more like you have to spend it wisely. That's what we're also trying to do. But I know that everyone is also desperately working behind the scenes to bring a few more signings in, and for that I'm quite confident.
Well done today.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Just feel like I'm feeding on his positive energy, Daniel Farke. It's a great interview. He's on the ceiling right now, Jamie, but what will be your takeaway of Leeds United from their opening night?
I still think they'll have it all on to stay up. I do think that, because I think they played really well first half, but it was still 0-0, and they've won with a penalty late on. Contentious decision. I think we probably think it was just a penalty. It was the right decision in the end. But listen, it'll be tough, like it will be for all the promoted sides. But I just think, especially on winning the game, and the same with Sunderland, everyone's in such a good mood. The chairman who was on before the game, and the manager's got to get right after them and get as many players as they possibly can, get as much money out of them as they possibly can, because there's that feel-good factor straight away in that first weekend, and try and give themselves a fighting chance.